Today, friends and colleagues, I'm catching up with a dear friend in Mr. Sid Blanco of Brazil, a Brazilian friend. Welcome, Sid.
Thanks for the invitation. Good to be here.
Yes. All right. So before we'll dive in, Sid, uh, can you introduce yourself briefly? Just some highlights.
Um, I'm an architect and urban planner, more urban planner than architect.
Mhm.
I have worked for government for quite a while, almost 20 years. And then I quit and start working as a consultant for most of the time for international institutions
Okay.
like UN agencies or development banks. Have a PhD in urban planning and no time for teaching. For right now, I know it's the future. Um, and I've been working managing and coordinating regional plans, metropolitan plans, and helping local governments to develop strategies for urban development and housing policies. And right now, I work for a development bank helping local governments to develop their financing proposals for the
Okay. All
structuring
right.
projects.
All right. Thank you for that short introduction, Sid. um, just for the benefit of my viewers, Sid and I were together in a scholarship program in Sweden, sponsored by SIDA, Sweden International Development Agency, and that was in
Another
uh,
life.
yeah, that was in spring of 2009. Mm, Practically like many years ago.
Another life.
Yeah, I know. So, uh, before we'll dive into more serious discussions, can you tell us more about growing up in Brazil? It's feel like it's sexy to hear like I have a Brazilian friend. How does it
uh,
how does it look like or feel
it,
like?
it's funny because I was born in during the dictatorial military period.
Oh,
So I was the dogs are still waking. I was born in the 70s, and we were under the military governments from 64 until 85.
mhm.
So most of my childhood was under that period, and I had the military part father. So I was in the bubble. I have no idea of what was going on in the country in the sense that for
Mhm.
me everything was normal. And I think that the 80s were the 80s to everybody, in the sense that the world was living an economic crisis. On the other hand, it was a total new world in terms of cultural terms, especially on music and art expressions. And Brazil was learning what democracy means on the 80s.
Mhm.
And I think that looking nowadays, it's funny because life was not easier, but life was more simple in
Mhm.
the sense that we don't need all the stuff that we have today or all the stuff that kids need today to live.
Yes.
We only have kind of five TV channels, and it was okay. We didn't have internet on Netflix or things like that. And Brazil, and even though Brazil was already connected to the world because it was always a touristic country. So the
Mhm.
world comes to Brazil, but middle class families had no money to go outside Brazil. Just like today, I have my friends with kids. The kids have 10 years old. They have already been to Paris twice, something like this.
Mhm.
It was not normal.
Yeah.
Um, and but then suddenly, I think that more close to the beginning of for the end of the 90s or the beginning of the year 2000, there's a huge change in the country, and then we became global. I think
Mhm.
the whole world became global in the sense that now we have access to internet information, but the world became accessible.
Yes.
So we became to travel, and we became um more international in the sense that the Brazilian population became more international.
Mhm.
So it was possible, it was easier to travel abroad to study.
Mhm.
And I think that the impact on that, um, especially on public servers, because
Mhm.
by the time we were in Sweden, I was a public server. It was that we were able to do a lot of exchange and
Mhm.
learn a lot of things, and then come back to Brazil and implement and discuss some of the things that we have learned abroad.
Okay.
And I think that this is the result of something that was built in the 90s, but then became more common on the 2000s. And of course, it's totally related to kind of the end of a huge economic crisis and the beginning of more, um, I cannot say calm because it's never calm, but I
Mhm.
think more normal years in terms of economy, and where we start to have uh, an increase in the number of families of middle class. So the gap between rich and poor were kind of reduced,
Mhm.
and people start to have more access to public education. Then you start seeing people going to university and things like this. So
Okay.
there's a change in this country, but there's still this sense that Brazil is a place of beaches and music
Mhm.
and sun, and that was what that's the image that was sold to the world for several years.
Mhm.
And it's quite hard to people to imagine that we have snow in Brazil,
Oh,
or it's
really?
cold. Yeah, of course, it's a huge country. So in the south you have snow, and it's a diverse country. It's very
Yeah.
big. So you have different not places, but it's different countries inside the same country, and culturally speaking it's totally different. The different zones, the way people talk, the way people dress, the way people relate to each other, it's quite funny. I have work, and I have the pleasure to visit. I know all the capitals of the country. We have we have 26 states and one federal district, and I know all of them. So it's a very diverse country.
Okay. So, living in Brazil, uh, and then, oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back to take us back to where we first met in Sweden.
Hmm.
What's your takeaway with those learning that we have there? I mean, you slightly mentioned just a while ago that you're able to use it in your practice as an urban planner. Can you tell us more about uh, the the learning things, the lesson
In
learned you?
Sweden, I think that Brazil was the example by that time. So It's quite funny because I remember that the Asian and the African people was kind what the hell are they talking about? Because most of the examples that the Swedish people brought, it was from Latin America because they had
Yes.
Croatia project, and
Uh-huh.
for means they were talking about something that I already know. And for
Mm.
you people, it's just like what they are talking about because what they are talking about Central America.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I remember it was very funny. I think that the most amazing thing by the time uh, it was the opportunity to evaluate what I was living
Okay.
because it was the second turn of Lula. We were really doing very well in terms of housing policies,
Mhm.
and the fact that we had to write that kind of article
Mhm.
gave me the chance to start evaluating what we were doing from
Mhm.
abroad, and from abroad not only physically but with a certain distance that when you are inside it's quite difficult for you to see mistakes or difficulties. All you see is that um, it's results, numbers, facts, and figures. And then the fact that we were outside, that I was talking about something that people don't know, or that people made questions that probably they would never do if they were in Brazil.
Mhm.
I think that it was, and it was the second time that I had this chance, so it was very important. And I had the honor to have Johnny as my tutor.
Yes.
What was really amazing.
Mhm. And I'm just so glad that I don't know if you remember this, but I was your opponent then. I was the one
The
who
boring one.
yeah. So it was fun, and I still
Yeah,
remember.
but it's important because
Yes.
if you are in your country among yours, people will make you questions. Will probably make you obvious questions that you are tired of answering, and
Mhm.
then you give some kind of answer, kind of okay. When you are being provoked by someone that has no idea of what you're talking about,
Mhm.
that that makes you uh, have the need to offer a proper answer, to think two times before answering, because otherwise people won't understand what you are talking about.
Yes,
So
yes.
that the and we spent a month in Sweden
Mhm.
with that horrible food. I remember that. Oh, potato and fish
With
with
fish
no
and
salt.
and egg.
And then that I think that the for me the most important uh, experience, it was not Sweden, it was Tunisia,
Yeah, when you were in Tunisia, yeah.
because it was so amazing to see how wonderful it would be if it was possible to have a housing policy for 30 years that
Mhm.
was evaluating, it was growing, and was
Mhm.
changing, not because of political change, but change because the world was changing. And that,
Mhm.
for me to see that, was really amazing.
Okay.
And it was also my first experience on a Muslim country.
Oh, okay.
It was,
Makes
was
sense.
yeah, it was quite impressive.
Mhm. Can
So
you tell us more about the UIA affiliations you have?
this is as I have nothing to do in my life.
Okay.
A few years ago, Brazil, as part of the UIA, was invited to join a new commission
Mhm.
that was discussing the 2030 agenda and the sustainable development goals.
Yeah.
As I have nothing to do, a friend of mine asked me if I want to join because they need someone that speaks English. And I said, okay. I remember that the first meeting I had to wake up 4 a.m. in the morning because
Yeah, because it's
everybody,
yeah.
yeah, everybody lives in Europe or in place that. Then I was kind of in the middle of the dark with a horrible face. And what time is it? They said 5 a.m. in the morning. And they said, oh my God, we need to change the meetings hour for not for you to be part of it. And they start to the Denmark association. They have developed a guidebook on SDGs, showing the connection between architecture projects,
Mhm.
urban planning, and the 17 SDGs. And after that, I started to develop a collection in Brazil that
Mhm.
we call the Institute of Architects of Brazil Guidebook for the 2030 Agenda, where we select 3 projects per each SDG per year. We
Mhm.
are on the 6th edition already, and we have done other types of publications only with graduation students,
Mhm.
um, only with new projects. We are always creating something. And then after 3 years, I was invited to coordinate the commission. And I've
Mhm.
been coordinating the commission in the past together with Egyptian colleague for the past 5 years, five,
Okay.
no, 6 years. We are
So
coordinating.
that's a term. That's a term that you will serve.
It's 2 terms because the
Auto
term
term, yeah.
takes 2 years,
Okay.
3 years, sorry.
So six
It's
years all.
exactly the same turn of the president. So I'm on my second turn. We had published 2 guidebooks. I'm doing the selection of the second one to be launched in July in Barcelona in
Mhm.
the National Congress. We have developed a toolkit where people will be able to add their information in terms of
Mhm.
their project, and the toolkit will tell with which SDGs the project is connected with, and the SDGs it's not that connected with but should connect.
Mm, okay.
So it's more or less a focus for the Sustainable Development Goals, and we also talk about climate change, sustainable materials, and everything that could save this world for the next generations.
Duration.
Yeah, because
Sustainable.
and not only I don't think it's not only because it's sustainable, because we need to understand that as architects and urban planners, we are responsible for the cities, for the planning and for the buildings that are built in our cities.
Mhm.
So we are responsible for creating spaces for the next generation, for
Mhm.
the ones that are living now, but for the next generations. And if we can do this better or in a more sustainable way in order to guarantee that we're going to have a future, I think that it's important to do, because there's still a lot of people that there's a lot of criticism in the sense that people thinks that, oh, if it's sustainable it's more expensive, or if it's green will take longer to be built,
Yes, yes.
and things like this, you
Mhm.
know that.
And then you complicate that with the American way of thinking where they don't believe in climate change.
Exactly. And on the other hand, we want to make people aware of the international agendas.
Yes.
So architects are not only responsible for SDG 11, for example. We have to stop saying that, oh, I'm an architect, SDG 11, boring. No. When you build a house, or when you improve a community, you are improve their possibilities in terms of health,
Mhm.
gender, wealthy. So it's connected
Yes.
to several SDGs. So
Yes.
and we are contributing to those international agendas. So we have a role in this thing,
Mhm.
and I think that we are achieving good results in the sense that we are there for a while, and we are also changing the way people see the UIA, because most of the time people think that UIA it's a group of rich architects
Yeah,
of
it's
rich,
more like a elite group or something.
ah, and it's not. There are a lot of poor countries there, and we are trying to show the world that the poor countries also can contribute.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of things being done and discussed in those countries as well.
All right. So, is there anything more you want to say? I'll give you a minute or two.
Ah, people. When you get to know people in course workshops, keep them in your lives. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yes.
It's great to have friends everywhere, and it's good to be aware of what's going on with people. It's always wonderful to connect and have the opportunity to exchange. I was very happy that I don't know if you saw that Mihiri went to see oh my god, I forgot the
Deal,
name.
deal. I think deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were together after
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. We have this. I saw Johnny a few years ago. So
Where did you met Johnny?
I was in Copenhagen
Okay,
for the
you went back.
UIA Congress,
Hmm.
and I was crazy about going to Lund, but I was working very hard. It was quite impossible to go to Lund. And then he went to have dinner with me in Copenhagen. It was
Okay.
amazing. It was just like we have seen each other in different
Yes.
international events through the
Uh-huh.
years, but it's been quite a while that we didn't see each other.
Yeah.
And it was just like we have seen each other 2 days ago. And
Uh-huh.
because it's this, if you keep connected to people, and I
Yeah.
was talking to Yvette the other day, she sent me a message, and we were talking about doing things together. So this is the magic opportunity that internet brought us. I
Yes.
remember that I have Facebook because of all of you, because everybody in the group had Facebook and I don't. And then I enter Facebook because of the group,
Yeah.
something that we don't. In Brazil, we used to use other social media by the time, and all of you in Asia were already
Yeah. In the
connected
Facebook.
to Facebook.
Yeah.
So I enter Facebook because of you. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
true. Mm. That's it. We're all connected there. We can see each other. We can see the kids growing on. People. Johnny's retired. His son was a baby during our days.
Yeah, I know.
He's graduated. So that's it. I think that, but we keep looking. So I think that, and I had a boss, and she always told me that she envied the capacity that I had to keep people in my life,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
um, and that's it. Because as I travel a lot, I always have someone to say hello when I'm traveling, because
Yes.
I keep people in my life,
Mhm.
and so I would love to have more opportunity. I miss, and you understand that agencies like SIDA,
Mhm.
they focus on professionals, not necessarily young professionals, but they don't look for the older ones. So it's quite hard to find opportunities for us that are seniors,
Yes.
and they forget that we need updating, because we are on the road for 30 years, and there's a lot. Yeah, that's true. there's a lot of things going on that not necessarily we know.
Mhm.
So it will be wonderful to have the opportunity for scholarships or for upgrading course
Yes.
for middle-aged people, because we are still working. We still have a lot to contribute.
Yes.
Uh, this is something that I miss, to find opportunities of learning and
All right.
exchanging with people from all over the world.
Yes. So thank you so much, Sid, for coming to my podcast, and we hope to have more next time if you have time.
Please, it was a pleasure. Congratulations on your idea. I'm
Yes.
still waiting. I'm still waiting for your visit in Brazil, because everybody said that they were
Yes.
coming to Brazil, and nobody. No, I cannot say nobody. Our friend from Egypt come to Brazil.
Oh, really? Oh, is
He
that
came to,
forget the name. Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
do you remember him?
Yeah, I remember him.
He came to Brazil kind of. I was not living in Rio. I think it was before I moved to Rio. But we've met. I have a beautiful portrait. He gave me my house in São Paulo, and but he was the only one who came to Brazil in all those
Yeah.
years.
You know,
So
I would not say period because I have a daughter-in-law from Venezuela, so that's quite near to your place. About you know, I
it's
will
the
one
root.
day.
It's the root.
Yeah, I will one day really have a chance to visit you, Sid.
I'll
So
be
thank you
waiting.
thank you so much for gracing my podcast. All right,
Thank you very much.
thank you, my friend. Hope to see you again.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.